We out here, city of Riverside, El Volo. Thank you for your time, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Doing real good.
That's right.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to meet you, first of all. Got word of you through photographs, man. Saw a flick that you took with Game. And it was a crazy thing. You've been doing photography now, like, for how long?
Man, it's been about, I'd say going on 8 years, 9 years now.
Okay.
Close to a decade, almost there.
It's gotta be, well, because some of the artists I've seen you work with, I was like, okay, he hasn't just started. Because you've taken pictures with Ice Cube, Game was another one. Who are some of the other artists you work with?
Oh man, so many to name. I mean, Mac 10, Dub C. I mean, I'm just trying to think of more the more well-known people.
Who are some of the others?
Well, I mean, even in the Chicano rap scene, you know, Capone, Little Rock, did some photo shoots with them. Worked with Corrupt, Exhibit, man, just a gang of people. Art LeBeau, you know.
Hey, that's big. Art
Yeah.
LeBeau is big.
When I met that guy, man, I bow down, you know. Art LeBeau, can't mess with that guy.
That's art, yeah.
That's right.
Oldies. So I want to go back, man, start at the beginning of it all. What is it that originally got you into photography? I appreciate the art of photography myself, man, which was why I wanted to, you know, talk to you as a photographer, because I think a lot of people now, you can get a camera, you can just go out and take pictures, but then there's also more to it. There's the art and the craft of it.
Definitely. Being a photographer, definitely you're an artist, you know, being a good photographer. You know, if you have that artistic eye, you can see something and visualize it how you want it to come out on film or on your camera. You know, that's where that artistic side comes through, you know. For me, I mean, ever since I was a kid, I was like you, Chris, just you would look at a photograph, you know, you could sit there and examine it and see how the shadows are, see how the things in it just correlate with each other, you know. And I've always been fascinated with photography, especially black and white photos. And yeah, man, whenever I got a camera in my hands, I would try to be artistic with the way I shot a photo, and you know, just being creative and always shooting, even if it was just that little 110 film camera that I got out of a cereal box, you know. I try to be creative with it, you know. So yeah, I mean, since a kid, that's what I've been doing. But it's, I would say, more professionally speaking, I've been shooting for about 7-8 years now.
Oh yeah. Where are you originally from?
Originally from the Bay Area. I grew up there in the Bay Area, came down to SoCal. Lowriding's been part of my lifestyle. You know, photography has, but lowriding's the other half there. And in the Bay Area, they've got their lowriders up there. You know, they got some car clubs, but it wasn't how I really saw lowriding. You know, a lot of it comes from LA area. The LA lowriders, they're the trendsetters. So it was always kind of like just a motivation for me to get down to SoCal and you know, cruise with those riders down there, because
right.
they were kind of more on the tip I was feeling. You know?
You started doing photography right when you came out here, or were you already doing it up in the Bay?
No, actually, I did start up in the Bay Area. Since I was already shooting pictures at car shows, just for myself and for my website, it actually caught the attention of some guys over at Street Low magazine. At Street Low, they're based out of the Bay Area, out of San Jose, and they started up small time magazine, and they needed some photographers, and actually one of their guys contacted me and said, hey, would you be interested in shooting for us? And I said, yeah, definitely. Now at the time, since they were still kind of new, they didn't have a big budget to spend, so money wasn't even in the interaction there, but that was fine. I was so happy just to shoot for a publication.
Right.
I couldn't wait for it to come out in the magazine. Even though Streetlow was pretty small at the time, I was excited about it. It could have been a small picture in the newspaper, I would have been happy, you know. But yeah, I started shooting for them, and actually the first shoot I did for them ended up being their cover shot. So they used it on the cover. It worked out cool. So I shot for them for a little while, and then when I came down to Southern Cali, I knew some guys in the lowriding scene already down in LA area, and through the grapevine, I got in contact with some guys over at Lowrider, and it just happened to be they were hiring, so I did the interview and got hired.
That's hot. So then it went on to Lowrider magazine from there.
Lowrider, yeah.
Did you take any kind of courses on learning how to use your camera? Because a lot of people I think just pick up a camera, just start shooting, and then all of a sudden they're a photographer without really understanding lenses and things like that.
I did take one photography class in college. It wasn't a real extensive one, but it touched upon the basics, which I think was enough to get me off on the right foot. I did go to college for business, actually. Business was my major with an emphasis on computers, and I got the degree there. But man, I'll tell you, if it wasn't even for that business degree, I don't think I would have got hired at Lowrider, because they're owned by a corporation, and they had education requirements that you had to to meet to be hired there. So even though photography wasn't my main thing in school or going through college, it definitely helps having that degree. And then with a little bit of photography I did learn through school, and then just on my own through books and going to the library, going on the internet, reading about photography, learning about like you said, the lenses, the aperture, shutter speed. It just all came together. So yeah, a lot of it was on my own. Actually.
Would you say it's necessary to take school, or just to kind of get the basics was really all you needed? I mean, for yourself?
It depends. It depends on what kind of photography you're going into. I think if you're going into more high-end photography, you're going to be shooting for advertising, you're going to be shooting for corporations. Yeah, I would say go to an art school. There really isn't too many photography courses you can get into, or photography degrees that you can get. But some of the art schools, they offer courses that are kind of geared towards photography. So with those art degrees, you're good to go, big time.
What is it for you that you would eventually, with your photography, like to be doing? Whether it's direct, whether it's film, whether it's videography, what is it for you that, of everything you've accumulated, the people you've seen, everything you've done?
I'd say with photography, that's going to be my number one. It is now, as far as the thing I get most enjoyment out of right now. It is photography, and I would like to maybe expand on it more. Maybe start shooting more for other publications. I do so once in a while now, but I would like to do it more often. Maybe even become a staff photographer for a certain magazine. And I'm not too picky as far as the publication goes, but I would like for it to be something at least urban related. I'd like to keep where I'm from. I like to take pictures of things in the hood and put those out there. Show those people that don't normally get the main 8 o'clock prime time.
Right.
So I'd like to get those people out there and show what they're doing, whether it's car building or music. So that'd be awesome to work for a publication that's right down the alley that I'm coming from.
That you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can be you.
Exactly.
In this situation.
And I think I can relate to a lot of the people that I shoot, because we're kind of from the same kind of neighborhoods, So again, it's right down my alley. That's my niche. So I think I can relate more, and I can bring that out. I mean, there's been times. Well, in fact, you mentioned the game. When I shot the game, when I went down there, we did the shoot right there at his house. It was kind of a scary situation, I gotta say, because I walked when I first pulled down that street. You could tell there were some guys that were on the lookout for who's coming down that street, and I was definitely an outsider. But once they knew I was there and shooting
why
photographs,
you were there,
they were real cool, man. They opened up their arms to me, and they were like family. They were really welcoming. So I think if maybe I came in a business suit and had some eyeglasses on, and blonde hair or something, they might not welcome me as much, or they might not be willing to give me as much information as they do now, because I am from the streets myself. I'm a fellow lowrider guy, so forth. So I think that helps.
So that's dope. What's the craziest situation